What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about books that have helped me raise my consciousness, and these books not only help raise consciousness, but yeah, it pretty much just helps you free yourself from the limitations of your mind, free yourself from anything that is holding you back or any like emotional blocks that you have. So let's get into it. The first book that I'm going to mention is The Law of Your Subconscious Mind. This is personally my favorite book. I am currently rereading it again. That's how good it is. It's very empowering, very educational. It talks a lot about your subconscious mind, and it mentions things like autosuggestion, healing yourself, how to pretty much shift your mindset into a positive one. It talks about how important it is about the way that you talk to yourself and about the things that you say to yourself. This book, 100% recommend. If you have not read this book, I will tell you right now, go to Amazon, go to your bookstore, go wherever you get your books, and purchase this book. Right now, purchase this book. This book is amazing. Another book I'm going to talk about is A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. This book also helps. This book mainly goes in depth about like the earth and like other people, and this book does help you understand yourself as well as help you understand the people around you. And this book talks a lot about the ego, very educational about the ego. I learned a lot about the ego and how to pretty much see what's ego, see what's yourself. It talks about pretty much awareness as well. It talks about like who you truly are. Like it gets into depth about who you are, that you are the awareness behind yourself. Like this was very thought-provoking, very good, totally recommend. Another book I'm going to mention is Manifest. Now if you're not into manifesting, I'm not sure how you'll feel about this book, but this book is also educational and like not even in a spiritual manifestation kind of sense. Like it talks a good amount about like your subconscious mind as well, and like negative feedback loops, and pretty much how to shift your thinking, your negative thinking, to positive thinking. So it does get educational and informal, and it's not 100% spiritual, even though it does kind of get spiritual. So if you're into manifesting or not into manifesting, and you want to pretty much just like raise your consciousness, and you want to just raise your awareness about how your mind works and about how to remove fear and doubt, how to remove negative thinking and limitations and stuff, I would definitely recommend this book. It's a page turner for sure, and it also does have like little things that like asks you to write some stuff in to help you also understand yourself a little better as well, to help you get deep a little bit. So yeah, I definitely would recommend this book. Another mention is the Bible. Now I'm not religious. I do not consider myself a Christian or anything. I take more of what these passages are talking about in a symbolic, metaphorical sense more than a literal sense, but it does talk a lot of philosophy, a lot of psychology. It helps you understand yourself, helps you understand the world around you, and of course it's a very spiritual book, so I would 100% recommend it. But as well, if that's not your religion, if that's not something you're interested in, totally understand it. I'm only mentioning this one and not other religious texts because I do have family. I did grow up in that sort of scene, so that is why I have that in my life, because I did grow up with that. But if you have a different religion or grow up with something else and it's completely different for you, so that one, I don't want to get controversial with that right now, but yeah, I just had to mention that because it is very well on the philosophical and psychological sense as well. And there's gonna be 3 books that I'm gonna mention right now that I don't have on my person, but that also helped me a lot when I was first beginning this journey. The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. It talks a lot about, well, human nature and the laws of it, and it really helps you understand people and also helps you understand yourself and like pretty much where you like fit in this world, and pretty much gives you like some like take home kind of lessons about each passage. Like he talks about like historical things that's happened and goes into depth about the stories of it, and pretty much teaches you like the lesson behind it and like the law behind it, like pretty much. And 2 other books I'm going to mention right now are written by Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you haven't heard of him, I definitely would recommend checking him out. He does a lot of studies and talks a lot about like how your mind can heal you, and he's also healed himself. He's had like a back injury, and he talks about how he healed himself. He has these workshops. I mean, some things are a little controversial with him, but I personally am favorable about his work. I have looked into him a lot, and the 2 books I'm going to mention are Becoming Supernatural and Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Those 2 books I mean, personally, the only book that I read by him, and Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, I definitely would recommend reading first. I really like that book. It gets into depth too about like the science of things. Like he talks a lot about brainwave states and pretty much how to enter each state and what each state is good for. So pretty much it talks about, I don't remember the exact brainwave state, but like the brainwave state that also the other subconscious mind book talks about, where you're in like a sleepy but awake state. So they say like before you go to bed and right when you wake up are like those states where you get into that. And you can also listen to audios and I mean frequency stuff on YouTube too that helps you get into that brainwave state. And that brainwave state is what helps you connect with your subconscious mind and do the best auto suggestions. It helps you manifest. It helps you do all these things that these books talk about. And an important thing to realize is that these books, they pretty much talk about key aspects. Like they have like the broad things that they're all talking about it. They just go about it in literally different ways. Like one of it will go into some more sciencey way, one could go into a physics way, one could go into a subconscious mind way, one could go into an earthy way, but they're all like pretty much talking about the same thing. Like, okay, I can't say they're all pretty much talking about the same thing, but they're all talking about like the broad key aspects just in different ways. And yeah, it's also important to know, yes, some of these are beliefs and theories. At the end of the day, I'm not saying that these are whole facts or whatever, but if you're into it, you're into it. So anyways, The Holographic Universe. This book I am currently reading right now. It is very physics heavy, so it's kind of difficult for me to understand. But there is some things in here that I was like, whoa, like I didn't know this. Like that's actually pretty fucking crazy and pretty fucking cool. Sorry for cursing, but yes, like this book, I really like it right now. Page turner. That is why I'm recommending it, because I'm already learning so much about it and I'm not even halfway through it. Another book is The Mind and the Brain. This book is very neuroscience heavy. So if you're not into neuroscience or if you have a difficult time understanding it, then this book might not be for you. But if you want to learn neuroscience and you want to get into it, I 100% recommend this book. This was also one of the first few books that I read when I started to begin my journey of whatever you call my self-help journey. And this one talks about OCD as well and neuroplasticity. It talks about neurons and the way they fire, the way they're wired. And I mean, I've taken a few neuroscience classes in college, so that kind of, it talks literally what like I was learning in school. So this one was actually I really like this book. So yeah, if you're into that, I totally recommend reading this. 100%. Great book. Okay, another book, The Law of Attraction. So I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard of The Law of Attraction before, but this book goes very in depth about the law of attraction, and I honestly learned a lot about it. Like even just talking about this book right now, I kind of want to read it again. The only thing that's a little disclaimer about the book that kind of had me a little what about the book when I was reading it too is that the person who wrote this book is talking to like an entity, and they're asking that this entity, which they call Abraham, it says the teachings of Abraham, which they're asking Abraham questions and they are responding through them. That kind of like turned me off at first, I'm not even gonna lie, but I just read the book anyway, and reading the book I was like, oh, like wow, this is very thought-provoking and like, okay, like this is interesting, very like what, this is like, it was kind of like changing the way that I see things and new things. I was like okay, like very interesting book, very interesting for sure. Definitely recommend it if you are into like the law of attraction and stuff and want to learn more about it. Another book is The Four Agreements. This one I would say is more of a book to pretty much like a wisdom book, like to help you like change some things in your life type of thing. Like there were some things that I was doing in my life that were kind of like going against what they were teaching in this book. So once I read it in this book, I had like an epiphany. I was like, wow, like that is very true. Like why am I still doing this habit when it's not even good for me and not even good for the other person? So I started to implement what the Four Agreements in my life, and it changed for the better 100%. It helped me in my life and also helped the people around me because I wasn't being so, I don't even know what to say. This is just a good book. And it's short too, it's not that long. So you can literally finish it in a day. But yeah, it's really good. I definitely recommend this book if you haven't read it already. 12 Laws of the Universe. This book as well, you know, just a theory, but it helped me understand like the world and the universe a lot better. It's very brief. It goes very, as you can tell, it's very small. It goes very brief into the 12 laws, It also does mention the law of attraction too, and it's not even as near, like, look at that, in depth as this one. Like, this one is very in depth of the law of attraction. This one just briefly covers like the law of polarity, law of cause and effect, law of attraction, and etc. So yeah, if you want to know that, literally a book you can read in less than a day as well. Like, honestly, you could read these 2 books in the same day and still have brain power left. Yeah, I definitely recommend that book. The last one I'm going to mention today is, actually no, this is not the last one I'm going to mention today. Think and Grow Rich is another good book. It also speaks about like the same like thing that the manifesting book and these other books are talking about, just like literally in a different sense. And yeah, so this one I would recommend, but so if you're like wanting to like, but yeah, so this one's pretty much a not spiritual version of the book, like Manifest. Like, it talks about manifesting in a not spiritual way. So yeah, I would recommend that book. Another book that I don't have in my person that I want to briefly mention is a Jordan Peterson book, The 12 Rules of Life, I think that it's called. I'm like on my second to last chapter, and it's not like a book that's gonna like raise your consciousness in any spiritual way. It's very just a psychological book on pretty much how to understand other people, how to understand yourself, and some rules to live by in your life, so pretty much you can have a good life to live and not getting sucked into negative stuff and, you know, all that type of things. So yeah, the last book that I'm going to mention is 50 Psychology Classics. This one's also not a spiritual, gonna raise your consciousness so much kind of book, but it is a book that will help you understand yourself and others, which I believe when you understand yourself and others, you are raising your consciousness. So yeah, I definitely would recommend this book. And yeah, so that are all the books I'm going to mention right now. I know it's a lot and I just put a lot onto you guys, but if I were to give you an order to start reading, I would say The Power of Your Subconscious Mind definitely comes first, which I definitely mentioned. And now if you are going to go the spiritual route or the less kind of spiritual route will also depend on the books that you choose next. Or if you want to go the sciencey route, that'll definitely depend. That'll definitely change on what books that you want to go next. Let me know what you guys think of this video. If you guys have read any of these books, your thoughts, your comments, and yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.